So we're here for Eurovoix.com, and I'm here with Tim Schou, who is competing in DMGP 2025 with the song Proud. Just first of all, you're back now with 14 years later, and you're alone, you're not in a band. How would you, I mean, you've not been on stage yet, but how would you say it feels just for you personally?
It's obviously been a long road since 2011. The band and I, a friend in London, we parted ways back in 2014. I won't even say parted ways. We just naturally stopped. And being back here now as a solo act feels very much like an ode towards them. And this choice of returning for me has been a lot about looking back and looking at my life and looking at, okay, what's happened and what have we done and how did we live this life? How did I live this life? And in that looking back, I've just found a lot of gratitude. So regarding the band, it's me going up on stage and saying, hi guys, hi Ben, Ash, Seb, and saying, hey, I'm doing this because I'm really proud of what we did back then in 2011, and we played as a band for like a decade, 10 years, even before the whole Eurovision thing started. So personally, it just feels like a very proud moment.
You yourself, you've been on a very long journey, you could say, been away for over 7 years, traveling the world. What would you say is the biggest thing that you learned or took away from that journey and experience?
Humbleness is one of them. It's a big headline for me. Something happens when you sleep on a floor for like 4 or 5 days straight, and you can feel that your back is straightened and flat on the floor, and it's like symbolically for me, that specific experience I had, which was lying on the floor for 4 nights straight somewhere in the States, was a very humbling feeling. And I remember it as like a switch in me where I was like, wait a minute, okay, physically I'm as low now as I can get, physically. And now I can kind of start like, I don't know, rebranding or researching in my soul and build again and be the new person I want to be, or whatever it is, you know. So yeah, what was the question again? I totally got lost in those 4 nights in the shopping mall where I laid on the floor.
Just, but I think you answered it. It was just what the biggest thing that you personally took away from the trip was. And
right, yeah. So the humbleness, definitely, and so many great friends, especially from Los Angeles, that I still to this day call my friends, and even some of them my family. So it's been a broad expansion of my network, and I'm also doing this for them. Just I want to like let them know, hey, I'm proud of what we built, and yeah. And through your quite long career and all your travels, how would you feel that, or how do you say that you have developed personally as an artist, as a singer, songwriter, all of these things? How would you say that you have developed? Right. Coming from my band and coming from that whole persona of being the front man in a band, and it's been for me, it's been a journey of self-discovery, and I literally had to rediscover myself, both like as a human, but also as a songwriter and as an artist, and figuring out who am I as an artist, and what kind of songs do I write as me. So it's been a big learning curve over those 14 years of getting closer to the core of who I am, and the thing I've found to help me a lot in that search is literally to be in front of a smaller audience, to sit and actually be able to like look people in the eye and play my songs and kind of like, okay, where are we going with these songs? Does that feel like me? And be a bit more, hi, I'm Tim and I wrote some songs and I hope you like them. Where I feel like I've been so lucky to experience both of those worlds, where you go up on a big stage and everything is like, what the fuck? And then I've also been in the very intimate area of of my career. So those two things are great merch, I feel like. Yeah.
And I mean, DMGP now in Boxen is going to be far from intimate. You know, we're talking almost 10,000 people.
It's incredible.
Do you prefer a big audience, or do you prefer it more intimate, or do they both have their kind of pros and cons?
Right, they definitely have their pros and cons. What do I prefer? Let me show you this picture in my brain. In 2021, I performed in front of almost 1 million people physically in Berlin on New Year's Eve. Right before Bonnie Tyler, and that whole experience was obviously a complete sort of out of my body experience, and it was fantastic to go up on New Year's Eve and just go out and just be like, Happy fucking New Year! But 10 days before that, I sat in a living room in Denmark at a nice lady called Erna Olsen and played a show with my own songs, an hour show in front of 20 people. And that, like, those two worlds are so different from each other. I love both of them, but I think the out of my body experience with you know, the big crowd and everything, the difference with the small ones is it's in my body now. It's a bit more, I can touch it, okay, here we are. So I have a big love for the intimate stuff because I can really feel it. Yeah.
And we wish you the best of luck. You're participating in DMGP on March 1st.
Yes.
Good, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.